In this video, we're going to go through how to draw the Lewis structure for a carbon dioxide molecule. So step one is to figure out the number of valence electrons. So to do this, we take our carbon dioxide and we say, okay, carbon, looking at the periodic table, has 4 valence electrons. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons, but there's 2 oxygens, so we need to add 6 twice. So we add all of these valence electrons together and we get a total of 16 valence electrons. In step 2, we need to determine the central atom. There is 1 carbon and there are 2 oxygens. The central atom will be the atom that we only have 1 of. In addition, carbon is always central, and an easy way to remember that is C for central. Carbon will always be a central atom. So in step 3, we need to sketch the general structure of this molecule. So carbon is the central atom, which means oxygen, each oxygen is going to be bonded to it. Now we need to add the remaining valence electrons so that all of the atoms are stable. And in this case, all of our atoms need 8 electrons to be stable. They need to be surrounded by 8 electrons. So far, we've drawn 2 bonds, and each of these bonds is 2 electrons. We had a total of 16 electrons to use. We have already used 4 electrons, 2 from this bond and 2 from this bond, and so we now have a total of 12 electrons remaining. Now, just like I said, every single atom needs to have 8 in order to be stable. It needs to have 8 valence electrons. So currently, oxygen, this oxygen, has 2 electrons. It needs 8, so it's going to need 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This oxygen also only has 2 over here. Remember, there are 2 electrons in that bond, and so it also needs 6 more to have 8. Okay, so we have already drawn, and I'm just going to highlight them. We've drawn 2, 4, 6, 8. Oops. Let me try that again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. That is all my valence electrons. I had a total of 16 to use, and I've drawn 16. However, I want you to notice that our carbon only has 4. So carbon still needs 4 more to get to 8. So what I'm going to have to do, because I don't have any more left, I used 12 more. I made 12 dots, so now I have 0 electrons left. So what I'm going to need to do is oxygen's going to need to share some of its electrons. So I'm going to take those off, and I'm going to make a bond. So now we have a double bond. That means that these 4 electrons, remember there are 2 electrons in each bond, so now there are 4 electrons here, and these 4 electrons are being shared by both oxygen and carbon. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, move those 2 electrons into a double bond. So now, I still just have 16 here, and look, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I still have 16 electrons, and oxygen on the left, my oxygen has 2, 4, 6, 8, so that's stable. My carbon has 2, 4, 6, 8, so that's stable. And my other oxygen has 2, 4, 6, 8, so that's also stable. All of them are stable. I've used a total of 16, so this is the correct structure. And carbon dioxide looks like this.